Peace and welcome to another exciting Motor House Artist Talk. I'm your host, Faraji Muhammad. Thank you so much for checking in with us tonight. Folks, we are talking to a great and emerging fashion designer. We're going to be checking in with Tiffany Rice, the designer behind Milk and Honey. And we're going to talk about all things fashion and, of course, the impact she wants to make and why she decided to join our digital artist portfolio program here at Motor House. Now, before we get into our conversation with Tiffany, we invite you to check us out on our social media at Motor House Baltimore on Instagram, Motor House Baltimore on Facebook. And if you want to stay tuned to all of the latest happenings, you want to see what events are happening here in the space, you want to know which artists are going to be coming through, check out our website at motorhousebaltimore.com. Also, you will have a chance to give to support local artists here at Motor House. We have our Be the Art fundraising campaign, and you can give just something, whatever you can give to show your support and your love for Motor House artists. So make sure you do that at motorhousebaltimore.com. So without further ado, let us now welcome to the Motor House family another member of our DAP 6.0 cohort, Tiffany Rice, aka the designer behind Milk and Honey. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are part of a new network of folks now here at Motor House. How does it feel?
You know, I was talking earlier with your executive director, and I was telling her that, you know, it's really a full circle moment for me.
Okay, how so?
You know, I've always been around, like, in the mix of the artistic community here in Baltimore. You know, whether it was just like supporting friends, dating artists, you know, hanging around places around the corner like the Crown, or going to artist talks here at the Motor House. And so I was used to like being in a supportive role, but also Baltimore at the same time was nurturing my own artistic, I guess, background. And so this was kind of a full circle moment for me because I was always here supporting, and it's like now, you know, a place that kind of has felt like home to me a bit, like I'm getting my chance to shine here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and it's meaningful. You know, I've been doing some of this fashion stuff for a couple of years now, still very much emerging. But like this is like really one of the first times that I felt like welcome, like in like the Baltimore community. So
Yeah.
It is special for me.
Very, very special. So speaking of how long you've been doing fashion design work.
Okay, so if you wanna
Can we
go
go
back to
when you were 10 years old?
Yes, you
scribbling?
actually can. Actually, you definitely can. So I'll give a little timeline. Okay. So Milk and Honey became a brand it was about to be 4 years ago. So in 2018, I started the brand when I decided to go to fashion school at BCCC. And going to fashion school was something very special for me. It was very much outside of the box because a lot of people know me as a social worker, as a professor. And so to go this completely different route, like after already having went to grad school, to go back to school for fashion, like it was a big step for me. And so Milk and Honey came about in my second semester at BCCC. One of my teachers had encouraged me to apply for DC Fashion Week. They had a student show called Next Gen Design Showcase. I never made like swimwear or anything like that for anyone before. I was just inspired to do it. I submitted some sketches. I hadn't even taken illustration class yet. Got in, did the show. It was a hit. Didn't know that I was one of the first people ever to do a full, complete plus-size collection in DC Fashion Week history. So that
Wait a minute, hold on now.
That made Milk and Honey a thing.
Right, because I'm thinking, here you are being prompted to get involved in a show. You coming in as green as all outdoors, and you're just like, I'll see what thing. Next thing you know, the show was phenomenal. You set a record. You made history by doing the show.
And that is a brand that day. But fashion definitely had been like a calling for me. And now that I can look back, I can see that it was a calling. I can see that there was that evidence throughout my life. You were jokingly saying, like, did you learn when you were 10? Actually, I did, believe it or not. My family relocated to this area. We actually lived on Fort Meade Army Base. I'm originally from New York State. My mom married a military man. We moved here with him. And the military school is very much focused on tangible skills. One of those skills was sewing that I learned, and kind of got the attention of my teacher, and then kind of got the attention of my mom a bit because I was doing some interesting things with cloth at the house. Like, I was taking bandanas and making dolls out of it. Like, and that's before I was even using like a needle and thread. I ended up begging my family to get me a sewing machine. They got it for me when I was 14, but I didn't really have anybody to really nurture the skills, so it kind of got buried until I went to social work graduate school, and I was, on my own and looking, for some type of outlet. Social work is very stressful, graduate school even more stressful, and I felt pulled. I was finally in a space that I had the resources and the time. YouTube was a thing. YouTube got me back into sewing, and it just grew from there. I started hanging out like in fashion circles. I would like go to New York, go to Fashion Week and all of that stuff. I would always wear something that I made because I didn't work in the fashion industry, so it was a conversation piece because, people like, oh, who you work for? What you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a shrink actually. But like, it doesn't,
Right.
So once I started really getting like industry people asking me about my work, that's when I started contemplating going to fashion school. But one day I went to Full Figure Fashion Week, I think in like 2017, yeah. Kind of had like a little mystical experience there, believe it or not. And that's what like really like the next day when I got home, I was like, I'm going to fashion school.
So there was like a, for lack of a better word, there was a divine,
yeah,
a divine confirmation.
Oh yeah, I went to I was at a show where actually it was like an industry party, and literally someone was on the microphone and kept yelling, all right, Tiffany from Baltimore, we see you, Tiffany from Baltimore. So imagine just hearing your name and like somebody cheering your name over a microphone. Yeah. And they weren't like saying anybody else's name. So what ended up happening, it was actually like a model that was named Tiffany who lived somewhere in this region. And so I guess people were like gassing her up, but like they were like, she was kind of like the only person they were like naming like that. And so I'm just like walking around like this party, and I just keep hearing this is Tiffany from Baltimore. We see you, Tiffany from Baltimore. Yeah, Tiffany from Baltimore. I was like, I guess so. I guess this is my sign to get it. And I literally, when I came home the next day,
you went and got it.
I had an extra transcript in my file cabinet. I went and got some Indian food, like at the buffet. You know the little buffets around here. And I walked right over to BCCC. I was like, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
No, that was divine.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then like on the way there, like, and I don't even really tell a lot of people that because, a lot of people don't believe it. But like you see like repeated numbers like 111, 333. Like when I tell you literally like the whole path of me going to BCCC was nothing but repeated numbers, just back to back to back to back.
What
everything. Oh, like, like 333, 444, 111, 222, like everything as I was from the Uber ride to my house until I got in the door.
So what does that mean to you?
Some people think of it as like just like little spiritual winks, like, you on the path, you're doing what you need to do when they see like little repeated numbers. But like for it to be like lined up like that, like the whole ride, it was just like, it just felt really like I was doing what I was supposed to do, even though I was scared.
Yeah. See, when you share that with me, this conversation could go 2 hours. I'm not going to do that to our videographer Travis.
Right?
You know what I mean? Listen. But that is, I would have to say, it's a blessing that you paid attention. Because like you said, most people probably just kind of like oh, that's just coincidence, not knowing that that's a confirmation, not knowing that that's the encouragement that you needed to take your life into a different space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a blessing that you listened.
Oh, I'll give it an extra step.
Go ahead.
When I got to BCCC, they linked me with an academic advisor to help me do like my initial like schedule or choose the major thing.
Yeah.
The advisor that came out was a good friend of mine from social work school at Morgan State, and he told me that I always made like an influential like print in his life. That like he was going through like a dark point, and like I took him on a trip to the United Nations,
right,
exposed them to different things and stuff like that. So it's just like for that to be the person that welcomed me,
the person that you helped, the person that you showed a different part of life, is the person that's going to show you or give you an opportunity for your new life.
And from my old
Come
life.
on, man. Where's our Yama Van Zant when you need her? Where is she, man? Oh my goodness. I'm feeling the spirit just off of that story alone. That's a powerful testimony.
Yeah. I've never really said it all like out loud before. It's something that I pretty much kept private, that aspect of my story.
I'm glad you felt it. I'm humbled.
Thank you.
That you share that with us. But I'm really happy that you did share it with us, because again, it's like important for people to know that when you are on a path and you're trying to figure out your purpose, and you try to figure out your the earthly work that you're supposed to do, that you pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That
you pay attention.
Yeah.
So you got all of these confirmations. You're at this point in your life. Talk to us a little bit about, now that you're in this space, how from social work to fashion, that's not a that's not a linear path. So
but it blends.
Right.
It blends for me.
It blends.
And it makes me realize that, you're going to bring yourself wherever you are. My fashion journey, a big motivation behind it was my own self-acceptance and body positivity journey. In college, now, curvy girl. And, a decade ago, there weren't as many options. Now, you can go buy stuff in a size 14, size 16 that look decent. But literally just like a decade ago, not that many options. And, I was in school, so I didn't have as much money. But, I was seeing these, new clothes coming out, and I wanted to be able to participate in the trends. And so I started making clothes for myself. And literally, fashion was crucial in my development of self-esteem. Because I remember telling somebody one time, like, it's very hard to not accept yourself when you are making custom clothes for your body. Like, you have to come to terms with it. You can't lie to yourself and be like, oh, my thigh is not that big, and go make some jeans that's too small for you and they can't fit. That's a waste of time. And so it just allowed me to be honest and confront some of the unfortunate, familial seeds, societal seeds that I had, about my body image. And it really took me on a healthy journey. And I was able to extend that to other women. Believe it or not, the counseling stuff, the mental health stuff, it comes up a lot in the fashion world. Whether or not I'm helping women with their, body, insecurities. I work with a lot of women who like had babies, so now they're, self-conscious about their, their bodies, their stomachs and stuff like that. Helping them feel beautiful. I've been in spaces where it's like, in fashion, they were like, oh, she's a therapist. So, have her do like a talk with the models about like, depression and stuff, on their like little podcasts and stuff like that. So being able to do that, I do a lot of pep talks and try to do as much uplifting as I can. And it finds me. It finds me a lot. And, I've had a lot of models come back and thank me very emotionally after working with me. I've had people in the audiences at, random fashion shows, coming to me, thanking me for the diversity that they see in my shows. And it's not even all just like, oh, everybody's plus size. Actually it's kind of like just a diverse range of people, having like a model that's red hair with freckles, you know, and she's on there, she's pale. A lot of people aren't used to seeing that, believe it or not. You know, I have redhead people telling me like, you know, I don't really see people that look like me on the runway. So just little things like that, you know, that's like, hey, you can be cool and, you know, however you are, and, you know, look jazzy and be confident.
No, that's big because you're coming from a space of what this would, you're thinking about yourself, and I love the fact that you had to, in your course of your journey, it became a part of like therapy, where you had to confront and deal with that, and you know, any trauma or any type of, you know, negativity, you had to deal with that, and there's power in pain, where you were able to transform that pain, use it for positive power, and now you're not just dressing models, but you're also teaching models how to think positive about themselves. So I mean, this is dynamic. This is absolutely dynamic. And when you said, "Oh, it all blends together," I'm like, I literally thought to myself, social work and fashion, how does that all blend together? But you're right.
Yeah.
There is a mental component to designing clothes and to, you know, showing clothes, because that's all about self-esteem and everything else. So you're absolutely right. So, you know, now that you're in this place and have had these experiences, you know, what do you look to gain from being a part of the Digital Artist Portfolio Program here at Motor House?
I think the biggest thing I was looking for was community.
Okay. Well, you got one here.
Yeah, definitely. And basically it involved me basically kind of stepping from the shadows of this community and deliberately wanting to be more in the forefront and engaged in it. One of the things that I miss most about fashion school is the community. Like to have the shared studio place, and we just all, you know, jamming and working on our projects, and you know, everybody has different aesthetics, different things that brought them to fashion and so on. But the one thing that we all agreed upon, that we were all passionate, and you know, I miss, you know, having access to that regularly, and just realizing I didn't have to just accept it as like, oh, you just gotta be an artist in your living room and no connection, you know, or it's only through social media. Like, Baltimore is an artistic hub, like, and it's known around the nation that Baltimore is an artistic hub. And like I said, you know, for me to have been mixing and mingling with this community for so many years before I even considered taking fashion classes, I've always somehow gravitated towards this community. And like I said, for me to have my own spot in it, and again, not just be, you know, in somebody else's shadows, or, you know, supporting other people, that's awesome. Special for me.
That's very awesome. Talk to us about the fact that now that you're in this place, what can we expect in your exhibition? Because you got some wonderful ladies that are a part of your show.
We got like 9 models on the other side of this wall.
You out on the street, you got a posse.
Yes.
But they're such beautiful women.
Thank you.
They really got great spirits, great personalities. They smile. I mean, everything is just really shining with them.
And that's very much a part of my brand identity. And at the end of the day, it's not even just a brand identity. That's part of my identity. You know, fashion doesn't have to be this uppity, snobby community. And I very much have been able to garner loyalty, you know, from
a collection of
I
know, I can feel it. Because when they came out there, they kind of came like wolves and lions. Like, who are you? And state your business, son?
Yes. But on a weekday
I'm here to. Can I speak to Tiffany? And who are?
Yeah, but you know, you can expect, you know, some curvy confidence. You can expect, you know, some
love that.
Yes.
Expect some curvy confidence.
Curvy confidence.
Right.
Some self-love.
Yeah.
Some playfulness.
Yeah.
You know.
Awesome.
You know, we're cute. You know, we're happy. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously, but you know, we still try to bring it.
Yeah, still try to bring it. And that's is exactly why I think it's important that we have you, because you reflect all of those qualities.
Thank you.
You reflect all of those qualities.
Try.
Oh no, you ain't trying. You're doing it. You're doing it. So my final question for you would be, what impact do you want to make at this point? Whether it's in Baltimore, whether it's in the industry, or whether it's for yourself. What impact do you want to make with your artistry?
Spreading self-love at the end of the day. Self-love and positivity. I want women to be able to love themselves, wherever they are. Some people, they have a lot of controversy around like the body positivity movement and so on. And the thing is, it's like, the people that I work with aren't even all just plus size. Really the average woman has been just pushed out of, mainstream fashion. Typical models, at the high-end shows don't tend to reflect, what the average woman, looks like. And so for somebody to proudly walk on my runway who, had a baby, or who, has freckles, or, is taller or shorter, round shape, pear shape, whatever, for them to basically, feel like they have a seat at my table. Like, this isn't a Mean Girls Club. You can all sit with us, and that's basically what I'm trying to spread.
That's beautiful. Well, Tiffany, we're looking forward to your exhibition, to the runway show, to the models, to everything, to the swimsuit pieces, everything.
Thank you.
So, but more importantly, we're looking forward to having you as part of this network. There are a number of fashion designers in this space alone, from Yellow Stitches to Psycho Design. So there are a number of people, black women in particular, that I think you would be a great fit for the community, to go into be in community with. So, there's big ideas and plans that we have for a woman like you. So we just wanted to formally welcome you to the family. So, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your exhibition and what the future may hold for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so real quick, how can people find you on social media platforms?
So you can find me on Instagram _Milk and Honey, milk with a Y, MYLK, A&D, honey, milkandhoneyclothier.com. Milk and Honey Clothier on Facebook, pretty much wherever you look at Milk and Honey Clothier with a Y, you'll find me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tiffany Rice, the designer behind Milk and Honey, making sure that she's doing her thing. You make sure you do your thing. Check out her exhibition, but most importantly, follow her on social media. Be supportive of the work, because she's bringing a whole movement to Baltimore City, redefining the fashion industry. Tiffany, thank you again for being with us here on tonight's Artist Talk.
No problem.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. But again, folks, we want to encourage you. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Motor House Baltimore, and of course, keep up with us by going to our website at motorhousebaltimore.com. On behalf of the team here and our wonderful video production team, Travis Marshall, we thank you for tuning in for another exciting Artist Talk here at Motor House. Peace.